Hey everybody, I'm Chef Tom with atbbq.com, and this is Cheesesteak Pinwheels. Well, today we're cooking up a really fun take on cheesesteak. By pounding out a flank steak nice and thin, we're gonna cover it in provolone, onions, fire roasted peppers, roll it up like a roulade, and slice it into these individual pinwheel steaks that we'll roast on the grill. It's a really fun presentation, it's incredibly tasty, and it's keto friendly, so if you're into any of those things, then stick with me. We're gonna get started by pounding out the steak. So what we're starting with here is a Creekstone Farms prime flank steak. We may just do a little bit of trimming around the edges here. Any of this excess stuff that's kind of gonna fall off anyway. Any of this hard stuff around the edges. We don't necessarily have to do a lot of trimming just yet because we might end up squaring this up just to get it to kind of fit the shape of what we're going for. So at least initially, I'm not gonna touch this too much. We're just gonna get to kind of pounding it out. So first thing I wanna do is get a little oil down on the surface to help it move. If this sticks on the surface, it could kind of tear, so I'm gonna try and make it easy for it to wiggle around by just putting a little bit of oil on the bottom and the top. At least initially here, I'm gonna use a zip top bag as kind of a barrier because otherwise stuff starts flying around. Now we're gonna use the flat side as we start to kind of pound this out and widen it, and then we may end up tenderizing with the spikes toward the end. But at least initially, I'm gonna go with the flat side. And we're gonna start with this thicker end of the flank steak rather than the thinner end, because that's where we really need some movement. When we're doing this, we're not just whacking straight down, we're actually pushing as we hit to spread those meat fibers out. And in that way, we can kind of control the eventual shape that we're forming, which we're just going for a nice rectangle. All right, so you can see we've got quite a bit more surface area out of it now. It's fairly uniform in thickness from one side to the other, which is exactly what we're looking for. We managed to do it without really tearing any holes in it, which if you do, not a big deal, you can always roll around those. But this is pretty ideal. Now I'm just gonna take kind of the finer side of this just to tenderize a little bit more. This is a tough steak, so we're gonna do a little manual tenderization here. Helps break up some of those long muscle fibers. It's also a really great way to get your marinade and your seasonings to stick down into the meat. So we're gonna do a quick marinade on this flank steak with the Smoke on Wheels barbecue marinade. I love this marinade. It's kind of an oil-based marinade, but with big time like garlic, lemon, thyme flavors. So we're gonna put a little bit down on the bottom of our pan, and then the rest on the top of the steak. And just let that goodness soak in while it sits in the fridge. Hopefully for the next hour or so. You can cheat that a little bit if you need to. So the only knife work we need to do for this recipe is slice up some yellow onions. So we're gonna do that now before we head over to the grill to cook these as well as the fire roasted peppers. We're not going super thin, probably about a 1/4 inch wide on each one. Now today we're cooking on the Yoder Smokers YS640S pellet grill. We're running it right now at 450 degrees, wide open, so no diffuser plate whatsoever, direct grilling. So we're gonna place our peppers, one red bell pepper and one green, over the direct flame to start to roast. And then in our Lodge cast iron casserole dish, we're gonna throw our onions down, get a little bit of color on these and start to soften them up. All of this stuff's gonna be stuffed inside the steak, which isn't gonna be cooked beyond about 125, 130. And we'll season this up with a little bit of our Cattleman's Grill Trail Dust all-purpose seasoning. All right, so let's close up the lid and let these cook away. So we've been rotating our peppers now. You can see the green bells completely blackened. That's what we're going for. We want to get that skin blackened because it starts to release, and then you can see that beautiful green flesh underneath. So we're gonna peel these here in about 10 minutes after we steam them. I'm just gonna stick that in a bag for now to steam. Red bell's got just a little bit more time to go. But the onions here next to us, those are looking done as well. Not much color on them. We've just cooked them until they're softened, and that's the goal. Since they're gonna be cooking inside that steak, we wanna make sure they're nicely softened now. These peppers have been steaming for the last 10 minutes or so inside the bag. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna get the seeds out of them, we're gonna get the skins off of them and dice up the flesh. And now that we've just blackened these skins and then steamed them, they peel off really easy. And then we're just gonna slice these a lot like we did with the onions, so they're about the same size. All right, so we're pulling out our flank steak. It's been in the fridge for about an hour now. I want to get some of this excess marinade off. Some of it's going to stick, which is great. But we're going to get that excess stuff off of there and transfer this over to our work surface. Do the same thing with this side. So this is pretty well squared up, so at this point I can just go ahead and get some seasoning on it. Again, we're using the Cattleman's Grill Trail Dust, just a great all-purpose seasoning, fantastic on beef. If your flank steak happened to be kind of a funky oval shape or there's some weird parts sticking out, go ahead and trim it up, make it a little bit more rectangular, just so that this process goes a little bit smoother. Now from here what we're gonna do is we're gonna lay out slices of provolone cheese. Let's see, we're gonna need about 8 slices for this steak right here. So we're gonna overlap these just a little bit. You know what, I'm gonna add just a little bit more because we've got a good sized flank steak. I think we can fit one more half layer in here. And then we're gonna load this up with our griddle cooked onions. It's tempting to go overboard here, but once we get to rolling this up, if you've stuffed it too full, you're gonna make it a lot more difficult. So feel free to hold back just a little bit if you feel like you need to. Top that off with our peppers, green and red. And you can see that we're leaving like a little bit of a bare spot here toward the edge. That's kind of gonna be where everything seals up. So we're gonna start from this end down here and roll away from us. You don't have to get this perfectly tight on the first try. I'll show you the technique here in a minute, as we can tighten this up as we go, but the tighter you get it, the better. So certainly give it your best here. now you've essentially got this flank steak roulade fully stuffed with your cheesesteak filling. And then what we're gonna do here, it's kind of a two-step process. What I like to do is I'll take some skewers, and you're gonna position these every couple of inches. This is just gonna hold it together for now until we can tie it up tight. So, a typical flank steak, you're probably gonna get about 8 to 10 of these individual pinwheel steaks out of. I think 8's gonna be the sweet spot with some trim on the ends that you can always chop up and cook in a skillet for another filling. So I just wanna take the end off of here, and then we're gonna cut right in between each one of these carefully. Now, if this is a little sloppy for you right now, throw it in the fridge again, let it chill down again. Once it's firmed up, it'll be easier to work with. But typically, if you're gonna be careful with your slices, you should be able to get through it without any problems. So here's that second step we talked about. Skewers gotta come out. And we did a pretty good job on the roll on this one, but I'm gonna pull it just a little bit tighter, wrap that all the way around so you get this really nice presentation, tight, orderly. You're gonna take a little bit of your butcher's twine, come right around the center, tie that off. Tight but not too tight. I don't want to squeeze out all the filling. And then snip it and transfer it to a parchment lined sheet pan. All right, so before we take these to the grill, we're gonna hit them with a little bit more of our trail dust, bottom and top. All right, good to go. So going back on the Yoder here, this time on the indirect side of the grill, away from the flame, so they're not going to get totally scorched on the sides. We're going to go probably about 20 to 30 minutes here, so I'll be back in about 10 to give them a spin. All right, 10-minute check. We're going to do a little rotation here. Starting to see a little bit of that cheese oozing out the bottom. Now the great thing is we can move this over to direct heat here just for a couple minutes. We're going to keep an eye on it. Some of this cheese is going to ooze out the bottom, but if it kind of crisps up and forms a skirt, it's going to be a beautiful thing. So it's only been about 5 minutes that our pinwheels have been over the fire now. We're right around that 125 to 130 mark on a lot of these. They're firming up. We don't want to go much further to keep this flank steak tender. So you're going to poke around, you're going to look for the lowest number that you can find, and that number should be above 125 to 130. At that point, you're ready to pull these off in that 15 to 20 minute mark. These went nice and quick today. All right, we're gonna bite into this, but I gotta show you guys this little cheese skirt that came off the side. I love the way how it's overflowing out of the top. This looks so tasty. It smells fantastic. Let's cut into it. Yeah, still just a nice little bit of pink in the center. I gotta get a bite. Don't forget to get rid of that string out of there before you dive in. Oh man, that provolone is so great in there. Fantastic flavors. You know, a ribeye may be a more traditional choice for a cheesesteak, but obviously what we're doing here is a bit novel. Presenting it in this pinwheel format. Still getting fantastic flavor out of the flank steak, but the stuff that oozes out the bottom, this is almost like cheesesteak meets pizza because of the way it crisps up. Super tasty. You can serve it like that as a snack, put it out as an appetizer, or build a little salad next to it, which is what we're gonna do today. So put together just a little wedge salad with some of that smoked blue cheese dressing from our blackened blue cheese burger video that we recently did. That with your cheesesteak pinwheel, that's a great little meal. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to check out atbbq.com for all the products featured in today's video. If you enjoy the recipe, hit that subscribe button. And if you have any questions or comments, or there's anything you'd like to see me cook, let me know in the comment section down below, and let's be good to one another. For more recipes, tips, and techniques, head over to atbbq.com/thesauce. All things barbecue, where barbecue legends are made.